Hi again then guys, and so we've got another Special Projects replica build for you today, and this time we've gone for a little bit of a hybrid replica. It's kind of a replica of two vehicles put together. Primarily this is a replica of the Aston Martin V12 Zagato, which is of course based on the newer shape Vantage. But what we've done is we've gone for a little bit of a hybrid between the V12 Zagato production spec model and the race car, or the racer concept as it was initially called. Two of those ran in the Nürburgring in 2011 and 2012, but it's very hard to find some of the specs for the race car, primarily the weight. So what we've done is we've made a car which combines the best of both. We've got the spec of the V12 Vantage production car, but with the visuals and the track know-how of the race car. So it's kind of a replica hybrid, if you will. And basically, if you just want this to be a normal V12 Vantage replica, you could just do stuff like removing the wing and the flat floor, and that will basically give you the effect of the production model. So we will go over, first of all, of course, to the visual tuning garage to run over what we've done there, then of course go over to the mechanical upgrade shop, and then finally take it out to a track to see how it performs, how it feels, and how it drives. So first of all, for our visual look, I've gone for the Type A body kit, which adds primarily this larger chin splitter on the front and the carbon fibre side skirts. For the flat floor, I've opted to fit it on this one. You could of course go without the flat floor, but that will make your PP lower. As far as the rear wing, we've gone for the wing which is closer to the Zagato race car, which has a wider stance on the wing. You've got the option of the other wing with a central or more central mounted wing support, but the actual race car, like I said, has them a little bit further apart. As far as the rims, I've actually left them stock because they look more authentic. They actually look very similar to the actual Zagato's rims, and they just suit the car more than any of the upgraded wheels, but that's just my personal opinion. Feel free to change them if you see fit. As far as the colour of the car, for the rims, of course, you can't paint them. For the wing, it's a special wing, so you can't paint that either. For the brakes, I've just opted to paint them black to make them blend in a little bit more. And for the colour of the body, obviously you've got a few options because the race cars were featured in a couple of different colours. The production concept was initially seen in red, so I've gone for a red, similar kind of red to the production or concept version. The colour is called Rouge de Feu, and it comes from the Clio 2-litre 16 valve, the older shape Clio, the smaller one. And that's it overall for the visual look. So there's a couple of things that you can change if you see fit, but now let's go over, of course, to the mechanical garage for the tune setup. Now overall, we have got this car to be as PP relevant as possible, as I always like to do, at the 550 PP level, and as I said at the outset of the video, we are running the spec of the road car, but with the visuals of the race car. So we've gone for racing soft tyres because it's kind of a middle ground between the two. You can go for whatever tyres you want, of course. I've upgraded the brakes. For the suspension, we've got the ride height on 70, front and rear, springs on 975 and 1025, the dampers to 5. Anti-roll we've increased a little bit to 4 on this one because it is a little bit more inclined to body roll than some others. We've got neutral camber and tow. For the gearbox on this one, from what I could ascertain, the V12 Zagato uses the same gearbox as the normal V12 Vantage, so I've just opted to leave that stock. I should think that the race car probably used a different gearbox, maybe an X-Track, but I'm not sure what the gears are on that. I wasn't able to find them. For the diff, we've got the highest initial torque, the lowest acceleration and braking. As far as power, the actual V12 Zagato has 510 horsepower. I believe the race car actually had that same power as well. So we've got the sports computer, sports exhaust, and that exhaust is primarily for the look. It has a very distinctive look, and intake tuning also, as well as an oil change. And then we've reduced it down to 84.4% power. We are running the maximum downforce, and as far as the weight, you want your stage 1 weight reduction, the carbon bonnet, which also actually adds the bonnet pins, which looks pretty good on this car, and the window weight reduction. And for ballast, you want to add 198 kilos to bring us up to the actual weight of the production model of 1678 kilos. Some say 1680, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. And as far as the ballast position, we've just moved that 2% back. it's still a 51-49 split, but it's a little bit closer to a 50-50. So that's it overall for the mechanical setup, kind of a mix between race and road car. So now let's finally, of course, take it out to a track to see how it feels. Now I have to say, overall, based on the other Vantage replicas that I've done, and we have done a couple, we did a build for, I believe it was a GT3 or GT2 spec build quite a long time ago. We also, of course, did the Nürburgring Ring spec racing version. This version, though, I would say is possibly the best handling version of a Vantage that I've done so far. The handling is very smooth, but at the same time it has a slight, not necessarily jerkiness, because that would indicate that it's twitchy, because it's not twitchy at all, but it has a slight roughness, a rough feel to it, that feels actually quite authentic to a competition or track-based machine. And I'm actually really happy with how the handling turned out on this car. It handles fantastically well, there's a huge amount of grip, and it's really fun to drive. And as far as looks, especially from a distance, it actually doesn't look that far off a V12 Zagato. Obviously, under scrutiny, it doesn't look the same, but as far as replicas go, I'm pretty happy with this one. So, if you do decide to use this replica, obviously I hope you find it fun, and even potentially competitive at the 550 pp level. And if you'd like to keep up with other replica builds like this in the future, be sure to hit subscribe down below for that. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.